Okay, now that we have constructed the equilateral and the isosceles triangle, let's do some points of concurrency. So the first point of concurrency that we want to do is the circumcenter. Okay, so if you remember that the circumcenter is the point of concurrency for all of the perpendicular bisectors. Okay, so we're going to need to do perpendicular bisectors for each of these. Okay, so that means that it's going to go through at the midpoint perpendicularly. And we're constructing these, so we don't want to measure them. We only measure to check. So you measure to make sure that your triangle is actually an equilateral triangle, but then from there, you're going to change to the compass. Okay. All right, so the first thing we want to do is actually bisect. So if you remember from doing the perpendicular bisector, we put the point on the vertice, and then we're going to stretch this out so where it's more than half, right? Because we want it to intersect, but not all the way. And once we do that, we're going to do the little fish arcs again, and we've got to make sure that we do them large enough where they're actually going to intersect. Keep your setting and go to the other vertice here and do the same thing again. And just make sure that you've got your pointy end, on the actual vertex or vertice. Okay, didn't get my intersection here, so I'm going to have to go back over to this side and try again. I didn't quite make it. Make sure I get right on the vertice. Okay. I'm going to have to kind of go a little bit further because I didn't quite get it. Okay. All right. So then I will make my points right here, and then I will draw my line because the perpendicular bisector is going to be a line that goes through the midpoint, right through these fish marks, and it's going to be perpendicular. So you're just going to be real careful that it's right on. Okay. All right. Now, of course, once you get the perpendicular line, you can actually go back um, and erase these here since you no longer need them. Um, okay. A lot of times when you're doing those marks, you want to do them very lightly so that you can erase them or either they're not seen. Okay. And we do the exact same thing from all the points. Okay, so we're going to go here, and I'm going to do another arc here, and then I'm going to put the angle here, and do the same thing right here, so that I get this intersection. Remember, just most important thing is keep the same setting. And then I'm going to extend the line here from this point straight through that point. And that will give me the perpendicular bisector. So go ahead and do the third side, and then we'll move on to the circle, which is next. Okay, now that I have the circumcenter, it's going to be this point right here in the middle. The next thing I need to do is circumscribe the triangle. So remember, if we circumscribe the triangle, what we're going to do is draw a circle around the triangle, and this circumcenter will become the center of that triangle. So I do that by putting the pointy end of my compass on the circumcenter, right? And then I want to put the pencil end actually on one of the vertices. So we're going to put it like right there. And we're going to try to get right um, dead on that vertex right there and make sure that I'm right here. And then from here, I'm just going to draw the circle. And if my circumcenter is dead on, if I have done it exactly right, then I'll hit each one. It looks like it might be just a little bit off, on this one because I didn't quite hit the vertices, but that's how you find the circumcenter. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is find the incenter. Okay. Now, if you remember, the circumcenter was the point of concurrency for all the perpendicular bisectors, and this is going to be the point of concurrency for all of the angle bisectors. So, okay. So for here, we're going to say incenter, okay, and it's going to be all the angle bisectors. And so if you remember how to do the angle bisector, this will be fairly easy for you. So you grab the compass. First thing to do, the angle bisector, and again, I'm doing this on an isosceles triangle. You could do it on any triangle. It's the same procedure. You might get a little bit different results. So you're going to start with putting your point end on the vertice, and I'm going to start by doing just a quick arc. And I want to use that arc to give me these 2 points um, here and here, which I'm going to use to find my center mark. Okay, so from here, I'm going to put the pointy end on my new point. Okay, and I'm going to do a little baby arcs out here in the center here. And I'm going to use the same setting and move my compass here. And I'm going to do another arc, and I want these two arcs to intersect. So if you notice, I get a point like right there. So that actually gives me the points for my bisector. So I'm going to stay from here to right here where they intersect are going to be my 2 points. So then I'm going to get a line, and I'm going to draw my line from here through there, and you want to draw a little bit further into the center because you know it's got to intersect um, with the other lines. Okay, so I'll go back and do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to put my point on that end, and I'm going to do a little arc, okay, so I can get my 2 points here and here. And then I'm going to take my compass, and I'm going to, oops, let me see if I can get that right. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm going to take my compass, and I'm going to put it right here on this pointy side, and I'm going to move it in because I want my arc to be right here in this region. Okay, and then I'm going to move my compass down to this one, and I'm going to do the same thing because I want it to be here. I need that intersection right there. And then I'm going to extend the line from here to here, and then looks like I'm going to get my intersection about right there. Be real careful to keep the line straight because even the slightest bit off will cause, as we saw on the other one, will cause your point of concurrency to be off just a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and do the third side, and then we'll do the inscribed triangle. Okay, so now we have what we think is the incenter. Okay, so we'll start with that point right there. And now we take the compass and we put it on the incenter. And instead of actually going to the vertice for this one, we put our pencil on the side. So try to get it, right there on the side. Actually, I may try to do the bottom side. I think that one might be a little bit easier to hit. Okay, and you put it on the side. Um, there we go. So, yeah, so we get that. And then we will draw the circle that is supposed to be inscribed inside. Okay, so if you get a circle like that, then you're off for sure because it's actually supposed to hit about right there. So it looks like our circumcenter may be off just a bit. Maybe it was supposed to be a little bit further over like that way. So again, the reason that you got to be super careful when you do it. Okay, so that's the procedure. So go ahead and practice a little bit and see how close you can get. Because again, this is new, so the more we do it, the more you practice, the more accurate we'll be. Okay, good luck.